Hey, Jared.
Yes.
Why do tennis players love saying love when it means zero?
I don't know, but that's another Seinfeld. I remember him talking about that. 30 love. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the only sport where affection equals zero. Failure.
Oh. Very relevant to the film, actually, too.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Film, a podcast where we discuss a director's filmography. We're currently talking about Luca Guadagnino. I can't say his last name.
It's all right. Maybe by the end
twister sometimes.
Maybe by the end of the filmography, you'll nail it. I think you did last week.
I did it pretty good last week.
I think you did last week, yeah. Hey, you only have two more chances after now.
Well, not like we don't say it more than once also. So.
Yeah, true.
But Jared.
Yeah.
You don't know what podcasting is. It's a relationship.
Yeah. I have basically a variation of that.
Anyway, for those of you that are not familiar with us, my name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
Yeah, mine is Josh. Podcasting isn't a game; it's a relationship. Works so well with the tennis. It
does. All right, so today we're talking about Challengers.
Yeah,
this came out just last year. It's rated R. 2 hours and 11 minutes. Tashi, a former tennis prodigy turned coach, transformed her husband into a champion. But to overcome a recent losing streak and redeem himself, he'll need to face off against his former best friend and Taisha's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
So directed by Luca Guadagnino.
There you go.
Writers Justin Kurtz. I don't know. It's like TZK in there. Like, how do you?
TZK. Is it just Kurtz?
Kurt.
Probably,
which is like lots of consonants.
That sounds familiar. Or is that an actor? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, but
again, cinematography by Zoya Mukadipro. I don't know.
Yep.
Who's worked with them several times in the prior, and then the music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Atticus Ross. Yep. The guys.
So, production costs. What do you think?
It has to be. More. Just from Zendaya, how popular she is when they started filming this.
Okay.
I'm sure she got paid very well.
Sometimes they're like that. The last film, Chalamet was a producer on and stuff, so then he didn't.
Yeah, but that was 2017. He wasn't as big then. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
the last film was 2017.
No, the one with Chalamet that you're talking about. Oh, you're right. That's right. There was another one, Bones and All. Right. That was 2022. Yeah, it's a good point. What was that budget? That was lower. Yeah, okay.
Just saying that, that's not a guarantee. The reason, because if they sign on as producers, sometimes they can get some
Oh yeah, they agree to take less, but then get more with the box office percentage or whatever.
There's different ways to finagle it, so it's not always the case. But I mean, I'm not trying to steer you one way or the other. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, and because then the two main guys was not familiar with the one guy at all. Mike, whatever. But Josh O'Connor, I was familiar with him, and he's bigger now too as well, or has been in more stuff. So they probably didn't get paid as much. I wrote down 50 million.
Wow. Okay. Very close.
Close? Okay.
55 is the estimate.
All right. Sick. I just figured it.
Yeah.
Bigger of a film and more ambitious anyway. And
yeah, for like even visuals wise, it's definitely in there's. So, no Oscar nominations or wins.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that. I know we talked about this movie already. last year in the pod when it came out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
thought it would have got nominated at least.
I think there's definitely a lot of for best director, even the score, cinematography, and even for best picture nomination at least. Because I think we talked about this on here, but I liked the movie Anora. I did not like it, but I don't think it demanded being nominated above this film for best picture. And then of course it winning is even more ridiculous. But
no, I don't think it should have won. But that's right. I remember I saw it first, then you saw it, Anora, and I remember liking it way more than you. Challengers, though, I think we both really like, and I'm curious.
Do you agree or disagree that you like Challengers more than Anora or not?
Between those two films, I like Challengers more.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Okay,
like if that movie deserved to be nominated for Best Picture and then win.
Good point.
and Challengers not even on the list.
But there's
something wrong.
I agree, and there's other things that from 2024, like from what I remember, was a pretty good year last year of films. Oh well, Dune Part 2.
Well, that was at least nominated for Best Picture.
Right. But that's crazy in itself. Actually, I'm sure we talked about it. Like, that's crazy that Anora would win over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, I don't disagree, but
But no, I agree with you. This should have at least got nominated, at least. Yeah. For sure.
And definitely nominated for something.
Or a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, you already kind of mentioned the talent. Really just like these three people.
Yeah.
Got Mike Faced, Josh O'Connor, and Zendaya.
Yep.
All right, so we both have seen this film before.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first one of this series at all, because up until now, I hadn't seen any of the films.
All right.
And even the last two I haven't seen. So this was the only film I was familiar with of Lucas. But yeah. Do you want to go or you want me to
go? You go. Yeah. I think second time watching it now.
This is the second time watching it. Watched it last year, not in the theater, but probably last summer after it was out. I guess, kind of gave it away a little bit to my comments earlier, but I really like this film. I think it's great at all the different levels. I think from just an overall as a film, I enjoy it. I think the acting is great. I think the directing is great. I think the cinematography is great. And even like the editing and then the score, like all that stuff, just everything's, I think is really top notch. So that's why I'm like surprised it didn't get nominated for anything.
I agree. I agree with all that. I think we have two more movies after this of Luca's, but this is by far his best film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think let's say how I think this brings in his character, his talent, character development. Like again, a lot of his other films are 3 or 4 people as the main characters, right? And this once again, it's like 3 people, the main characters, and the relationship dynamic between them. But it mixes in some action, which we don't always have in a lot of the other ones, because it's just like people hanging out in Italy,
in Paris, or Italy,
or Italy.
Yeah, you're right.
So you kind of mix in the action, which is also jumping out a little bit with cinematography. Like gave this guy, I don't even try to say his name.
Yeah.
Just use his initials, SM.
There you
go. Gives him the opportunity to do something, right? Like to move the camera and do some stuff, like where everything was so subtle and they're not moving a lot or not moving at all. And these, cause it's just like dialogue heavy and or just like establishing shots and things like that these like character driven pieces, but adding this mix of the tennis, like really allowed them to get creative with some of the camera work, and
especially at the end.
Then of course, there's some key stuff that's really ridiculous, but so I think that kind of brings that different dynamic and then it has just a little bit more sort of like a little bit just more production value, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
To kind of bring it to like a higher level than some of the previous films feel very indie, and this definitely doesn't feel indie.
I agree.
Which kind of gives a little more polish to it. And
it feels more sophisticated too as a film. Yeah. Than his previous stuff. But the indie thing, you're right. Yeah. Like this feels like a big studio movie compared to the rest of his films so far. Yeah. Yeah. And
which, I mean, compared to some of the other films, this is like 5 times the budget. So
yeah, that helps. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it shows on screen. So
it really does. And to your point about the themes, or the themes that Luca really likes to do in all of his films, I think like he does it the best in this, with like especially like the sexual tension and eroticism that he obviously does in like every film. I think so far, I think it's done like the best in this. And of course, a lot of it also has to do with like, I'm sure he had a big say in it, but like person casting the people too, because you have to find the right people with this like, I guess you say love triangle, and then make and see how well they all work together too. Like that's insanely important to this film. Yeah, like all three of them have to have really good chemistry, and because that's such a big part of like the drama of this film. So all three of these people have to work really well together, and they do.
Yep, I agree. So let's get into it.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much, like, when I was watching this, like, I was typing, but I have a lot of notes.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much, but I think I understand it more watching it a second time. Like, I already loved it as a film the first time watching it, but I understood more of it, especially, like, the ending was a little confusing first time, and now I think I understand more now, so.
Or do you? No.
Oh, maybe not. I have an idea, at least, so we can hash it out.
Yeah.
Or the internet will tell me I'm wrong in the comments, and that's fine too.
All right, so we get a little setup of present day tennis.
Yeah,
and then we get the flashback, which when they kind of playing doubles with each other, or two main guys, and then they kind of sees Zendaya is going to be there. Well, her character Tashi is going to be there, and
immediately it's so funny to see how like just they act when they're like both like, this is the hottest girl I've ever seen, and then just the way they act from there on. Like all the flashback stuff is so fun and great, and I have a specific scene.
Well, I mean, I think it's the hottest mixed with like, but she's like cool because she does what we do. Like, she's she's really good at tennis. So it's like combination, right? Like,
and at that point in the past, she's like at the height of like her professional career.
Yeah, because
they're not there yet,
right? And look like she could potentially have a pro deal, but she's choosing to go to college first. Yeah, because they talk about that a couple times.
So I want to say, I think this is really the only thing I dislike about this movie is it does the number one movie sin that I mentioned before, where it's like big, like action thing to set up the film, and then it's like 2 weeks later, or 2 weeks earlier, sorry, or a really like dramatic opening scene to get you hooked, and then cuts to I think it is 2 weeks earlier. But I think in addition to that, because I don't mind the jumping around, because again, like I think especially the stuff 13 years ago, right? I think is what they say, 13 or 14,
yeah, something like that.
I think it's like some of the most entertaining scenes, but I think they jump around too much in the film. That's what I don't like about it.
See, I like that. So I was
really. You don't think it's done too much?
No, well, because I like how the present day keeps cutting back to give you more context to the tension and why everything even matters in present day. And so then they're just kind of setting that, and it's action, but to get you kind of bought in, but it's also setting that like, here's where we are, and then let me give you some context, and it cuts back, and then like comes back to it, and then let me give you some other context. Yeah. And so like, because like as we get towards the end, right, and not to jump around, but you to even like fill in the gap of like what happened even the week before, right? Like and so it's like because they do all the flashbacks are linear
Yes.
And like they go the furthest back, and then not as far, and then not, like so they're
All
kind
the
of
way leading up,
revealing
to that
like
week before.
Yep. And so, or day before, the night before,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
The night before is even in there, and which is like the pinnacle with, then he puts the ball in the spot. And
Yep. That's a very important moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
which, no, you're right, is again like explained the 13 years ago where he first talks about, he's like, all right,
he gets
do
her
this
number.
with
He's the one that wins the tournament.
Yep.
So then he gets the number.
And he's like,
So
do this with the racket, and the ball, if, this happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I love that. I love that. In the ending too, the moment where he sees that, which we can talk about when we get there, when he sees that at the very end. I wanted to talk about, because I think our two main guys are great in this, but I wanted to talk about Zendaya a little bit, because I think, again, like I already mentioned, the three of them have to work really well for this film to be good.
Yep.
And they all do. But I think she, in particular, is absolutely crushing it in this film. Like, I think her performance in this is so good. And, I mean, she has to carry so much throughout the whole thing. And with your point to the flashbacks, we see so much that has transpired between her and both of these guys, both together as the three of them, and separately with each of them. But I think in particular, her facial acting is actually a scene I think you were just talking about. I think it is the night before, where she's talking to Josh O'Connor, which, what is his name? I know the other guy's Art. It's Art and Patrick. I have it here somewhere. Patrick, yes. So it's when her and Patrick are talking. And yeah, she does so much with her face that's just great. And to me, like, you can't take your eyes off of her whenever she's in a scene. And, well, side note, I don't think she's ever looked more beautiful than this in this film also. But in both the present and the flashback. But also at this point, so 2024, just last year, and she still is now, I would say also, but like killing it as an actress too. Because I just wanted to mention, so right now she is about to be in her third Villeneuve film, so Dune Messiah, right? She's finally coming back to Euphoria after a really long break for season 3, I believe is supposed to be next year. Which again, that was partially because all the actors are doing so much, like they had scheduling wise. That's why that took so long. And then she's going to be in the new Shrek film, which is like the legacy of Shrek has become so big, like for people her age even, especially. And then she's about to be in Nolan's new film too. So it's insane, like what she, and actually, I think Euphoria is the best thing to like, even though I love the show anyways, but it's like one of the most important TV shows in a long time because it literally created at least 3 of like some of the biggest like young stars now. Like, so her, Sydney Sweeney, and Jacob Elordi, just for them 3 alone, are headlining so many movies now. Like, I don't know if you saw the Wuthering Heights
I haven't seen
remake.
the trailer, but yeah.
So like that's him. Obviously, he was just in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, but like he's now the main lead with someone that's like a bigger actress from before, which is Margot Robbie. So it's like, it's crazy what these people, and also I think Sydney Sweeney's another one. Like, people actually go out to the theaters. Like, if they know, like, oh, she's leading a movie, people will go to the theaters. Like Anyone But You, like that was a big box office movie. Probably partially people love Glenn Powell also, but like she can really bring people. I think Zendaya can too, because Challengers, actually, I remember we talked about when that came out. I think that did really well in the box office too, I think because of her. And I think Jacob Elordi also at this point as well. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that, like, it's crazy the trajectory that we're at now with these young actors. And then of course Chalamet's in there too, as like one of the biggest young ones as well.
Yeah,
that would be the only thing missing in this film. Like, if he was in it, that'd be crazy. Although they're together anyways in Dune, but
yeah. Well, and speaking of that, like her scenes where she's playing tennis, like she learned how to play tennis. Like, obviously, if she didn't already know, at least look like she's playing a high level. I mean, there's definitely camera tricks to make it not. You don't have to see all of the.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of times. You see how she hits the ball, but you don't see where exactly it goes.
Yeah, all the time. So yeah, but still, like, even just her movement, and then
I imagine the two guys too probably had to learn.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah, because there's a lot of scenes where they're doing tennis in the frame, and then I'm sure they're not face swapping,
right. But I know I could tell, and it kind of had to because of the camera work. That very final like tennis match though, like there's definitely a lot of CG going on there though.
Yes,
for that part.
Yeah, but
it was awesome.
But more for like other reasons, not because of those guys.
Yeah.
And then of course her injury scene.
That's so painful when you see the close up of what happens. Yeah.
And
that's a pivotal moment because that's what
breaks her up with with Patrick.
Yeah, but then she can't. Then she ends up being a coach now to her,
but not immediately.
Husband. No. Yeah. I also want to mention just the very opening of this movie. The slow-mo shot is just, I think, just a sick opening and immediately gets you locked into the film. Right before then, we do the, few weeks earlier or whatever.
But then it's there's a kind of that dynamic of the coach / husband, or their coach / wife, the husband. Then do you there's almost like she's still with him because she's still coaching him almost, right?
Yeah.
And then yet I don't think she really loves him or wants to be with him anymore
at that point,
as a spouse, like in present day, right? She's just still with him because of the facade of they're together. They're kind of this like tennis power couple, right? And
yeah, you see all the ads that they're in together too, and it's keeping that alive as well.
Yep.
I have this, I think, like for the ending, which we can talk about more when we get there. But to your point, that is a huge part of this movie is with the two guys and her is whoever is doing better in tennis in that moment, that's who she's attracted to more. Like, and you see that throughout the whole film all the way up until the end.
Yeah. For sure. Because, you see that even when her and Patrick are making out and then he's like, can we stop talking about tennis? And she's like, okay, I'm done then.
Yeah. She's like, tennis is everything. Yeah. Did she even say like tennis is sex? Well, we,
she didn't say that. She's
or
not,
like,
but she's like, well, there is nothing.
Well, she says it's a relationship.
Yeah. And she's like, tennis is everything or something, or more along those lines.
Right. But it is like, that is her main focus. Yeah. She doesn't care about anything else. But the way some of the tennis scenes are shot, it is like how he shoots his sex scenes in other movies. So like that is intentional on his part as a director and the cinematographer.
Yeah. Well, the way the music kind of almost hits like heartbeats beating.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. Like, and they kind of intensify, and it's kind of like, again, combination of like, is it part about the sexual tension or is it about the tennis, like just getting your heart rate up because you're exercising, doing something? But it's, there's.
Yeah, for sure. In the flashbacks to, it's either 13 or 14 years ago, I can't remember, but one of my favorite scenes is the scene in the hotel room when Tachi actually shows up. It's just an amazing scene. And then obviously what happens, with the like,
well,
the lead up is fun too, right?
They're all like, she's not coming, and then when she does show up, they're like scramble forever to clean the place up.
Yeah.
and then and then them talking and
almost having a threesome essentially.
Yeah.
But don't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like also even before that, like just the stuff that like Patrick keeps embarrassing, telling like different embarrassing stories for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, she's like,
he said he taught Art how to masturbate. Is that the one thing?
Yep. Yeah.
And he's like, no, not actually. He's like, I was on another bed. Like, 'cause she's like, oh, you mean like you really actually taught him? All that. Yeah. That whole scene is so good. And then like perfect moment for her to like stop, like after they're like doing like the 3-way kiss. And then she's like, all right,
Good.
done, going to bed. Cause like she knows what she's doing. Like that's another thing is,
Oh yeah.
in that moment and several other moments, she is in complete control.
100%.
But then that's what makes it so good. Those few moments that she's not, or few scenes where she isn't. Yeah. Cause she obviously is she wants to be in control throughout the whole film.
Yeah. And then I like how one of the scenes where like she's helping, it's towards the beginning, I think. But present day where she's helping Art and they're in the like hotel room there and he's like thank you, he's like I love you, and she's like I know,
yeah.
which always makes me think of Star Wars, but because of Harrison Ford's line to Princess
that's
Leia.
what made it like iconic. Yeah. But no, you're right, that is very important, that her response when he says I love you.
So basically gap of time because her and Art develop a friendship because they're in school together. Right. But, and so then when she has to, stop playing because of the injury, though we do get a scene where she's trying and she's like forcing him to try to like, she's don't take it easy on me and all that stuff. And so I guess she was trying to, but I guess obviously she never recovered enough to really play at the level she was playing. So she switched but she was coaching someone else for a while, and then they run into each other at like a tournament or after a tournament or something. And then he asks her to coach him, but then he also kisses her in the parking lot. And then that's kind of where things go from there. And then of course he's moving forward and successful, and she says, and she's attracted to him, like you said. And then when he starts messing up and they have to go to the challenger for him to get a little bit of confidence, but then of course it turns out Patrick's there and throws a wrench and everything. But
and then her eyes get focused on
Patrick because he's doing well in the challenger, even though otherwise he's a complete loser. He has no money. He's like sleeping in his car and going on Tinder dates just to get a place to sleep because he don't have money for a hotel. That scene is
crazy too. Also, it's just funny. Like, you see him check his bank account and then immediately go to Tinder and literally is just swiping right on
everybody.
Then even the guys. And then, he goes on the date, and literally like, I mean, it's true. Yeah, he's doing it just to get a place to stay because like, he doesn't care as soon as he sees Tashi like in the hotel lobby or whatever right around then. And like goes over to her and then comes back like the date he's on, she's just like, she knows how much of an a-hole he is. And like, it's that whole encounter scene is great as well. But it carries on to present day in the film is how much both these guys are attracted to her and like how singular focused they both are on her, and then her singular focus is tennis and nothing else.
Yeah, when almost like how much she holds, like almost like how much she can pull the strings on both of them.
Yes.
Even though, like you said, she does have those moments where she doesn't do what she wants, like she loses control a little bit. And so, I mean, we can talk about that because, I mean, that's kind of
Well, I have just one other thing besides the ending. I don't know if you have anything else.
Well, I mean, where do you start the ending is what kind of, I guess, what I'm getting at. But yeah, go ahead. What's your one thing?
It was just the car scene with Tachi and Patrick, which is...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, where do you start the ending? Because like we're talking a little bit of flashbacks that are like that week earlier and then, or the night before. Those things are like all right there that kind of build up to the end, right? So it's like intercutting. And that's where I was going to, like, that's obviously, he has some pull, because like, because they cut, so he wins the first round, right?
Yeah.
But then he like loses the second round.
Yeah.
And then really when she run the night before is like before the third round, and that's when she runs into him. So at that point he's kind of in between, like he's not winning or losing.
Yeah.
And yet then she still can't resist him and ends up like going to sleep with him in the car, basically.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to talk about that scene. So yeah, the car scene, and during this crazy storm that's happening. Mm-hmm. I think this is another one of the best scenes of the film, and it's ultimately like the pivotal moment for both of these characters. And I mean, even the decision that she makes, because you see it, her wake up in the middle of the night, text him, and like decide to go out and see him. Mm-hmm. And then she even has to like make it a cover where she's like, "You're my, Uber driver," and like she's like, "Just drive." Mm-hmm. And then it's a pivotal moment where she's like, "I need you to," what'd she say? "I need you to lose."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, first he's like, "No," but ultimately, because she has such a power over both of them, like, eventually he's just like, "All right, I'll do it." I'm trying to remember what else they talk about in that scene that's important. Well, I don't know. It's kind of just like a setup for that final match. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So then with the final match.
Yeah.
Do you think he throws it?
Oh. I don't know. What do you think?
So there's the callback to where he he shows him his tell, and then he does it to say he slept with him. So then he does that before the serve, that final serve. Mm-hmm. And Art sees it and recognizes it. And it's like he clocks, like, and he kind of, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I know what happened here. Like I feel like it is, and but then
not the tell. You're talking about the tell of like how he holds the racket, or the actual symbolism of what he does with the symbolism, tennis ball meaning to the racket.
Yeah, the symbolism meaning like, hey, I slept with her.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And because then we even get the scene where they were at the table together and he actually recognized them, and then they sign somebody's autograph and then they're both gone.
Yeah.
So like, and then there's that moment where he's like, oh right, yeah, when we're teenagers she liked me. And like, so like, it's not like, I think Art saw more or led on more, he knew more than like he led on.
Yes.
And probably was just like, whatever, I'm the one married to her and she's helping me. So
it's a crazy shift too with the that final match, because he goes from when he does the tell, he holds the tennis ball to that center point of the racket, and you see like a close-up of both of them, both of their reactions. And at first Art is pissed, but then like the way the scene ends, or like his smile, he changes to that smile right before that like final, very fast, like back and forth. I think it's just awesome the way they end this movie that way, because there's a lot that it doesn't like completely spell it out for you. So and that's what I was saying the first time I watched this, I didn't understand it completely, the ending, but I think I do more so now. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the ending as a whole?
I mean, I think it. I mean, I think it works. I like it being kind of left to your interpretation. I think how I read it was, yes, I think, once he kind of gave in to like accept the fact that what happened and he's not angry about it anymore. Like, I think he also then played and won on his own merit. I don't think Patrick was, because then there's that back and forth, it's intense back and forth, and then he, just goes for the spike. And I don't think that was I don't think Patrick set that up to be like, here, I'm going to lose.
Right. Oh yeah. Cause you see them intentionally getting closer to each other as it goes. Yeah. To that final shot, and they both jump up.
So I think Art won on his own merit, playing hard, but then also Patrick catches him.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of show that, like, in reality, like, they both have forgiven each other and almost like, or also realized their friendship's better, more important than their relationship with this woman who's been playing them for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so almost like moving past that. And so
I agree with that, but do you, well, it's interesting you said friendship, because do you think it's any more than that between them?
I mean, I think there's definitely a flirtation there.
Yeah.
But I think it was, I believe, or saw it always as more of like the way Art looked up to Patrick, because he always looked at Patrick as the one that was the better player, had the swagger, like all those things. And so it was more admiration in that, like almost like how a little bit younger brother would look up to an older brother, maybe, it's kind of dynamics. And so I think it felt like that. It doesn't mean that there's not certain like undertones there, I think. And because I think they, there's a reason they didn't stop kissing right away. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think that they were like embracing and then going to then all of a sudden go date each other. Like, I don't think that's what would happen there. I don't think that was, at least in my view, I don't think that's what I was implying. I think it just showed that, like, they realized like how deep they could care. I mean, these guys, like, since what, they were like 12 or something or whatever, they were like roommates in boarding school and stuff. So like they grew up together, and then they were playing doubles together, and and all this stuff. So like there's just like a closeness, a deeper closeness that they've always had, that this woman basically came in the middle of it and disrupted that. And I think it's like then them kind of realizing that in that moment, almost like at the end, and Patrick being like, hey, you finally beat me fair and square, and you are better than me, right? Like I feel like that moment of that, and then him catching him and being like kind of proud of him and all those things. Like, I think that all kind of, and then them being like, oh, we actually like, we've been letting this person get in the mess of our relationship.
Yes.
So there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
That you can try to interpret, and those are at least the things the way I saw it.
That's what I saw. That's how I saw it the first time watching it, and I think now, watching it the second time, I think they're more in love with each other than Tachi. Sorry, I didn't think. Yeah, not Tachi. So I think that final shot is supposed to indicate that they're more in love with each other, whether that is just like a very deep friendship bond or more into like romantic, or but then Tachi was just the catalyst for that. And then, because there's another thing that I picked up on this time, was several times throughout the film, Tachi says to them that she's a homewrecker, or doesn't want to be a homewrecker. Right. So indicating that they're already together. And then I saw a sentence online that I thought actually explained it really well too, that I wanted to mention as well.
Okay.
So it says, the film's ending suggests that their passion for each other is what truly reanimates them and reignites their drive for life and tennis, ultimately eclipsing their romantic relationship with Tashi, which is kind of what you were already saying.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good assessment of that final shot. And
And then one other random note that I just love the callback to the stroke with his grandmother. So they're
with his grandmother.
So when they're in the sauna, or when he's like, "What about? Are you going to throw the game?" And then, or like, "Let me win."
Yeah.
When it was for her number, and then Patrick's like, well, "No." He's like, "Now things are different. You know, just stakes are different." And he's like, "But what about my grandmother? Because remember, his grandmother was going to be watching." Is what he said.
Oh, that's right.
And he's like, "Oh, your grandmother can go have a stroke or something." Oh, yeah. He says that, and then like later, when he reproaches Tashi at the table at the hotel, and he's like looking at the ring, and he's like, "It was his grandmother's." And his
grandmother's, right?
And then she's like, "Well, she died of a stroke." And like,
that's right. I completely forgot about that.
And it's just like one of those like small things that you would almost probably never pick up on the first time viewing, but then. No. Like this, like second time when you're picking up.
That's great.
Yeah, it was just a crazy callback. That also like because of the way the editing happens, like you know, you're kind of like the times those things don't happen linearly, so it's Anyway, yes,
that's great.
All right, so we get into some of the cinematography.
Oh, one other thing with that final shot, it's interesting to see her response to it too, because first she yells and says, "Come on," and she looks like angry.
Yeah.
But then ultimately smiles, and then that's where the actual film ends. So that's one thing I'm curious about and not 100% sure on how she ultimately feels in that moment. I don't know. Do you have an idea at all? It's like it's like anger, if we go, and then the smile.
But then if we go back to what matters most to her,
right?
Tennis. And of course, right now she's married to Art, and coaching Art, and then he just won the tournament, which is what she really ultimately wanted, because then she wanted him to get his confidence back, to then go win, like the stuff that matters. Yeah, and so I think, at least it kind of implies that in the ending, kind of implies that he's got his mojo back, and he maybe even. Patrick's there now ready to cheer him on, you know, like, and be there for him too, if their relationship's fixed too.
True.
So I don't know. I think the smile would be like, actually,
yeah. And I wonder if I guess he does at that point, keeps going, because I mean, he tells her that he's like, I'm done after this, you know, like he wanted to retire. Because he was saying like, you know, you don't want to be 40 and
still trying to do this.
Yeah.
And that scene was also
for like athletes. Yeah.
That scene also was kind of great. Like, to see that, really understand their dynamic, where he's like, "Can you just hold me?" There's also those times where like, there's the scene where in the beginning, she has him spit his gum out and she takes it in her hand. Yeah. Like a mother would, right? Yep. From a child. And then, if after the first flashback, like then Patrick does that for Art when they were younger.
That's right.
When they're playing together. Yeah. And so like those moments are nice to like, but it also both shows like Art always needed someone to take care of him. He needs like that mother or parental figure kind of like taking care of him. And that's all. And then like in their marriage, even, that's kind of almost how it is. It's not like we're partners here. It's more like she's there to take care of him. Yes. And, you know, as a coach, but also as like his wife, and like their dynamic is obviously not normal for a husband and wife dynamic there. It's, you know, and it's more like she's just his mother, and and he's like, "Can you hold me?" And that's it. Like, he's just like,
not a very healthy dynamic. No, it's it definitely is something like, anyone listening or watching this, if you haven't seen the film, definitely watch it, but also very good rewatch. It's like we've been talking about through this pod, like how much you pick up on on the rewatch.
I mean, a year later, so
it
wasn't all like, it wasn't like immediate.
No.
All right, well, let's talk about the cinematography. So we kind of touched on some of the stuff, but yeah, you said like the stuff shot very, well, slow motion, but also kind of just, it gives us some erotic visuals even to the tennis matches.
Yep. So I don't have a lot of notes for cinematography. Really, all I wrote down is all of the creative shots during the tennis matches.
Okay.
It's just what's so awesome. And I mean, they do it early on in the film too, but especially in that final match.
Yeah. Well, yeah, note besides that stuff is like how when they aren't playing tennis, like all the other stuff, there's not any grand wide shots of any interiors. It's like all the interiors are much more like just the character, like dialogue back and forth, all in like small. I mean, it's like in like, I mean, you think about like the little hotel rooms or the you know, like the locker room where they might be like just lots of small spaces with, because even when they shoot like some of the hotel like lobby areas where they might kind of be there, they don't show like super wides that really like show the space. They're just like on the people.
That's interesting.
But then the tennis stuff, it's like, oh, here's the tennis match.
Opposite, yeah. That's cool.
I mean, they mix with some of the close-ups to show the characters, but and their reactions to things.
But
I imagine it was intentional. Like, that's what I'm getting at, because it kind of give the feeling different of like tennis is life. You know, they kind of open and gives these people life, these main characters, and then everything else is small and that's not tennis.
Yeah. So everything else being more like tight or small is more about like how the characters are feeling in their head versus
and just
tennis is, like you said, life. And
just like
grand and big.
Yeah, just kind of like they live for that. And so with these other moments that are in between tennis are just not as important.
Yeah.
From a visual, like intentionally making them not visually as important.
Right.
And then it's like the tennis is like,
even though the dialogue is very important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And not that they aren't important, but
to
the storytelling,
but like language of it. Yeah.
So, but then, I mean, the biggest thing obviously is that last part where you start to get the POV shots of the tennis players, you get and then you become the ball.
Yeah.
and all that's so ridiculous. So I did look up because I was like curious how they did that.
Okay.
And they basically stitched, so they had to recreate almost the whole tennis court and post so they could actually make it CG. And then
they have a full CG
of that tennis court.
Okay.
And then, but they did shoot, I forget, it was like 40 some different shots between, and they used an actual like big camera rig on a Technicrane and had it like fly between them, and they would swing their racket like they're almost like hitting the camera. They didn't actually hit the camera, but like, and then it would swing back, and they did those movements across it, and then they just shot them at like they shot them so that then they could just speed it up and find that right speed for. And then they filmed a bunch of like pro tennis matches to find the speed and then just had like that be the ball. So and they stitched those shots together, and that's why I can even transition from that to like that pull out shot after.
Yeah, that was
sick. Kind of crazy
because it's real high
because technically it's a bunch of small shots stitched together in post.
Yeah,
and CG. So
nice.
But it's super cool.
It is
kind of really, and it's it's one of those things where obviously for budgetary reasons you wouldn't as well, but like I think it's the restraint on storytelling to not amped it up until like that final,
right,
where you kind of that final match of these guys, the third match, and start bringing it into that intensity level and allow that camera work to even bring that intensity level of like everything's culminating to this pinnacle moment, right? That then all this 15 years of history is building to this moment that you've learned about, but then also this match, these 3-day match, and then like this is, or I guess it's 3 days, right?
I think so.
How they spread it out, but It's kind of, and then of course the same thing with like the camera work, brings that extra level of intensity there that you didn't, that not that stuff looked blah before, like there's some dynamic stuff in the previous tennis matches, but like then this like amps it up even more, this like full CG, having you get those PV shots from them, and then even them being the ball for a little bit, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's sick. There's even one with the final match I thought was also cool, was one of the times they're bouncing the ball and you actually see it from the ground up too. You remember that? Yeah. They do that even one time.
And a lot of, and then other like super slow-mo stuff too. And they to show like, but yeah, I mean, other than that, the only thing I think is like the impressiveness of like, at least I think about is like, how do they do this wind storm that's happening outside that every night?
Right.
Like it looks like the wind's really blowing that hard.
Yeah, it does.
For the actors. I mean, yeah, you can add some stuff in the background that's moving in the CG or something, but like, how do you get fans big enough to like recreate that kind of wind and force? I'm sure that's how they do it. I didn't look it up.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gotta be, a lot.
But yeah. Want to talk about the music a little bit?
Yes, I do. The score rules. I love it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, no, I remember really liking it the first time around. This time,
cool.
Like at the note I mentioned earlier, really noticed how the rhythm of it really, felt like their heartbeats, right? Like it's like, like it would like amp up when things needed to amp up, and even whether they were sexually or while they were playing the game, like it was kind of intertwined. And I thought that was a cool angle to approach it with the music.
Yeah, no, it is cool how they do it that way. Also, it's just, to start, it's just unconventional, where it's like, who knew that like early 2000s sounding EDM music would work so well over tennis?
Right.
Like that's not and I don't know whose idea it was.
And not what you would normally do with a character-driven movie either. So like the combination of both those things, it's very not typical.
No.
A style that anybody would like just be like, oh, this is what it should be. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where the idea came from.
I don't know, but it works so well. And one of the, I would say, underrated cues or tracks in the film is there's a piano theme that's played in the past, like the 13 years ago section, when all three of them are talking to each other on the beach. This is before they go to the hotel room.
Yep.
It's a really awesome, like hauntingly beautiful phrasing on the piano. And it's just that. I don't think there's anything else going on in that section. Just really cool. And I believe you hear it one more time near the end as well. But that's another one that I love and that's so different than the rest of the kind of early 2000s EDM sounding four on the floor type music for the rest of the film, especially over all the tennis matches. I also want to mention the ADR grunts when they're playing tennis. Ridiculous and way over the top and just too much, in my opinion. It makes me laugh at times.
Okay. I mean, I think that was also adding to the sexual nature of it, though.
Sure. Yeah,
that's why they were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
To kind of make it feel a little more sensual.
Yeah. That is probably why, yeah. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. And then, because like the comment when they watch her play the first time and then they talk to her and like she screams like at the end, like she just goes like, just like, ah.
Yes.
Like, just like almost like it's like an anger, but also like almost like a roar from like a lion just being like, yeah, I just won. And I'm just,
yeah,
you know, like, cause she,
yeah,
it's very, and, you know, and of course they ask her about it. But, well, Art does actually.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think? Themes and messages.
Yes. So I think it's, we kind of already talked about the theme somewhat, but I think it's about the ultimate need for power and crushing anyone on your way to achieving it, which is what she does throughout this. That was Tachi's singular focus. This is what I already mentioned, to the point that whether it was Art or Patrick, whoever was performing better at tennis at the moment, she was more attracted
That's
to.
who she gave the attention to.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And nothing else mattered to her. So I think that's ultimately what the film's about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I think, so because the film doesn't really give you an answer, right? That's kind of the point of the end. So it's like, yeah, I was kind of the film's about is power or relationships, which is more important, because she's obvious. Like the guys, I think at the end, kind of imply like, oh, actually, you know, our friendship or whatever, romance, if you think that way, but whichever way you're going with decide, hey, that's more important, right? They're like, but that she the whole time is using them for power.
Yeah.
And then they finally, like, it's almost like implies that they're kind of breaking free of that.
Yes.
So yeah. And it doesn't really give you the answer which you think is more important or better, or which one should be more important or better from the film's perspective. I think it just kind of lays it out.
For sure.
But yeah. Let's do a little trivia.
Yeah. So it's also just so weird, like going from 2024, going from 2 years before that, 2022, Bones and All, to this film. It's just so different, and this one's just like so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're right. It's the big jump in like indie versus like big blockbuster looking movie as well. It's huge.
All right. So Patrick taking a bite of the churro and letting Art take one was unscripted.
Okay.
Josh O'Connor was starving, and it was the first time he'd ever had a churro.
Wow. Churros are great.
Yeah, they are. But also, yeah, it felt very natural. Like,
yeah. But that's another thing that just seemed like, I don't know, at times, even in the sauna too, like there's different points where it seems more sexual between them, or like flirting, or like overtly like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's intentional.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, he does this so much in all of his films.
Yeah. It says majority of the tennis balls hit during the movie were CG.
Oh.
It was too difficult to achieve the cinematic style using real balls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To prepare for the roles, Zendaya spent 3 months with a pro tennis player turned coach, Brad Gilbert.
Nice.
She practiced for 3 months.
Well, like we were talking about, though, I mean, I'm sure they both had to as well. Practice tennis for a while.
We'll see if the new umpire is played by Darnell Appling, Zendaya's close friend and personal assistant.
Oh, that's cool.
And to prepare for this role, Appling took professional umpire lessons.
That guy looked familiar. Maybe he's in Euphoria at some point. I don't know. He looked familiar to me, though.
Oh, right. You're right. He did.
Is that where you're
and you're right. That might be where he's from.
Yeah,
he did look familiar to me, too, but I didn't look him up. I said Austin Butler and Timothée Chalamet were considered for the role of Art before Mike Feist was cast.
Oh, so both of them only for Art.
Mm-hmm. That's what it says.
Interesting. It'd be interesting if it was both of them. Austin Butler and Chalamet.
Yeah,
would that
but
be
Austin
crazy?
Butler playing the role of Patrick, right?
Yeah. Well, I think either one of them could. Yeah. I mean, they're both
I think if I was
great
gonna,
actors.
Yeah, but I think that's the way I'd put them.
Okay.
If I was going to do it.
This
Chalamet's art.
This budget would have been more than 50 million if that was the case.
Though the tennis match in the modern day takes place in one afternoon. Oh, so it's supposed to be one. So the matches are just all that afternoon.
Oh.
In full sun and under clouds, with temperatures ranging from 40s to the 90s, there was even one day a mass pollen released by some nearby trees that tinted the whole set, all the people on it, yellow, which wasn't removed until rain fell over the next few days. So they didn't say how many days they filmed, but it was filmed across 3 weeks. That's why I missed that when I was reading.
3 weeks.
So it's supposed to take place in one day, but 3 weeks of filming.
3 weeks for how much of the filming of the whole movie?
Of the match, the modern day match, 3 weeks of filming.
Okay.
It was completed over a year before release. So it was completed April 2023.
Okay.
So, because that's something you also consider when you're talking about before, like, yeah, I mean, it's not to say that she's not big, but like, it was completed then, which means like she probably signed a contract at least at the latest 2022, but maybe in 2021 to do this film. So it's like, you get way back, then it's like, oh, maybe she wasn't as big then, you know.
Yeah, but Euphoria was still really big, even in 2021. And Dune Part 1 came out that year. So I'm trying to remember what else she was in at that time. I don't know. But
says that they had to visit Zendaya on set of Dune Part 2 to complete ADR.
Oh, okay. That would just be cool to visit that set anyway. The Dune set. That'd be sick.
Yeah, this is the Justin Kurtz, whatever his last name's, first screenwriting credit.
Oh. Maybe we haven't heard of him then. I don't know. The name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Not a lot. It's unusual. There's not that much here.
Well, I mean, that was still a decent amount of trivia.
Yeah. All right, so next movie, Queer.
Yep.
Don't know anything about this.
No, I just know Daniel Craig is in it. And then After the Hunt did just come out on VOD, so we will be.
Yeah, it's also on
covering that too.
And streaming on something already too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to say Amazon.
Okay.
I think. Because all his films were, or a lot of the more recent stuff have been on there because it's like Challengers is, and because it's all MGM and Amazon owns MGM now.
Right. Which is all the Bond stuff too, right? Yeah.
Well, they're making the new Bond film.
Yeah. Speaking of Villeneuve.
Yeah. And maybe,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. He's worked with Zendaya, Chalamet, Austin Butler, some of these.
Yeah.
So I'll see who he wants to pull in for different things. But
I know I already mentioned on the pod, there was a very recent rumor about Sydney Sweeney as the Bond girl, but I don't know. I still haven't heard anything about Bond, though, who they're going to go with.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like Austin Butler was on the list for that.
I'm sure he was, yeah.
I don't know if he still is. But yeah, I don't think they'll release any casting news about the girl before Bond. So.
Yeah, that just reminded me I keep seeing more and more, like in the cast, just keep growing for Heat too, which is so exciting to me. It's like more and more just like crazy actors are jumping on board that.
And why shouldn't they?
I know, but it's like the cast was already stacked, and then I just saw, who was it? that also just like, I think signed on. Oh, Christian Bale also just signed on to it. And it already has like Adam Driver, Leonardo DiCaprio, Austin Butler. Who else? I don't know. There's a few others. It's a lot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'd love to hear what you guys think of Challengers, or, you know, some of the other films we recently discussed. If you have thoughts or feelings or insights you'd like to share, please do. You can do that by emailing us at feedback@screentimepod.com, or leave a comment or send a DM. And we appreciate all of you that already subscribe, but if you haven't, please like and subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you'd like, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And each individually, if you'd like, you can follow us on Instagram. I'm at J Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. Catch you guys next time.